Welcome everyone. How's it going? Probably a very interesting morning for some of you guys. Let me know if my audio is coming in clear as usual. Yes, I got the juju. I see the comments in the chat. Today's a juju kind of day. We need some juju. Thank you, Chris. How was one of the first ones? Thank you so much. Alrighty. So let's talk FUD. Let's talk FUD. And you'll see the stock price right there with Webull. No, I don't want to update you. Stock price right now is sitting at $577 or $78. Let's round up a couple of pennies. We got a lot to talk about today. Let me just move my fat head on my screen. Welcome everyone. Martin, too many fails. Sanju, awesome. Marco, 590 based on what? So okay, we'll definitely talk about price targets here. As it kind of sits, this is the 5-minute graph on Tesla. You can see at around, if you don't know what happened this morning, right around 1:45 Eastern, so 10:45 Pacific time, FUD came out, and we'll talk about that FUD. And essentially there was a coordinated attack. Seems as like a strong way to put it, but it's hard to not see it like that, allegedly. Okay. Welcome Alex. Digital Foods, you did your part. Awesome. So, and I've got my Chrome pulled up here, and I've got some threads to look through and all that sort of stuff. So we're gonna go through that. But essentially, let's pull up the FUD. So right around, let's turn that off and let's turn on Chrome. Okay, cool. So this was the headline posted: Tesla's China orders halved in May. As the information. So remember, this is on Reuters, but the source of the report is a blog, a news article, and a news site, called The Information. So keep that in mind. It's not a Reuters exclusive. It's not a CNBC exclusive. It's someone from The Information. Okay. Another thing I like to highlight here is it doesn't say net orders. It says, and that's very important, it says orders, right? So if reading the headline, you would think gross orders in China have halved, which, first of all, April was very strong. We know that, right? So, at the end of the day, maybe there's some sort of seasonality, whatever. That's what you would come to the conclusion of, right? But they're being disingenuous. They don't say net orders here. So if you go on to read it, it says Tesla's vehicle orders, again, not net orders, in China nearly halved in May when compared to April. The backdrop of the increased government, and then they go into all this FUD. Great. And then here is where they change their tune a little bit. And they say the company's monthly net orders in China dropped to about 10,000 in May from more than 18,000 in April. These are not orders. These are net orders, right? And we're going to talk about that here in a second. The report said. So everyone is citing this report. And if you click on the report, it takes you to the information's paywalled. There's no way I'm paying money to look at this article, okay? But I'm just going to read what I can get for free. Tesla's China's orders halved in May. Internal data shows as crisis deepens. Tesla vehicle orders in China fell by nearly half in May compared to April. Again, vehicle orders, right? According to internal data. So how did this particular author of this article get that internal data is my first question. Does he have a leak? Does he have a source? How credible is this person, right? And then they go on to say, welcome David, thanks for becoming a member. The company's monthly net orders in China dropped to about 10,000 in May from more than 18,000 in April, according to a person with knowledge of the data. That could be a goddamn janitor. I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know how credible this person is, allegedly. The sharp drop reflected a drastic shift in China's consumers for appetite for Tesla, whose founder, Elon Musk, has celebrity status there. Orders spiked in January after release. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things. One, there could be a backlog, and there is a backlog of orders from January, February, March, April that are to be delivered and recognized as sales in the month of May, that you can spin this piece of article to really just cause panic in the market. Because if you're not thinking rationally and you just look at this disingenuous headline that orders are halved, you would think, okay, well, now Tesla's selling 50% less cars in China than it did a month before. That's not true, right? This is why also looking at data at a quarterly level is the way to go versus month over month, right? But anyways, I digress. So check this out. So check out okay, obviously I'm going to reiterate here. This is posted by The Information. Well, the interesting thing is, if you go to The Information's Twitter account, check out the pinned tweet that they have here. Our 5th annual Autonomous Vehicle Summit is just 2 weeks away. This year, we have speakers from Waymo, Neurobots, Argo, Cruise, and more. Tesla seems to be missing from this. So on Wednesday, June the 9th, it's suspiciously close. It's about 6 days away from today. Maybe this is some sort of a PR scheme for them. Maybe this is in backlash of maybe Tesla not wanting to come to the conference and talk about autonomous vehicles. Maybe a lot of things here at play. So a lot of things, right? So moving on. Going back to the net orders part of this. This is an amazing account on Twitter. I recommend you guys all follow it. JPR007. Replied to the news report, Tesla's monthly net orders in China have dropped to about 9,800 in May from more than 18,000 in April. And this is a great way to summarize it. This sounds great. Of course, it means the opposite of what it sounds like. Domestic deliveries rose in May after April was focused only on exports. So with April being focused on exports, like we know, domestic deliveries in May rose, which obviously lowers the net orders. So the relationship between the order inflows and the delivery outflow shifts. Another way to phrase it, he goes on to say, is 18,000 too many orders in April and only 10,000 too many orders in May. Because remember, it's net, right? So, you know, a lot going on here, a lot going on here, right? But I have to say, going back to their Twitter, I mean, let me know what you guys think. This seems like a conflict of interest a little bit, right? I mean, if we talk about autonomous vehicles and we talk about who kind of runs the show when it comes to autonomous vehicles, it's Tesla, hands down. They have the most data, they have the best AI. You know, it's just not even close. Obviously, Waymo begs to differ. But you just got to look at this and think, okay, if these guys have an autonomous vehicle summit happening in a week and they have speakers from everywhere except Tesla, maybe there's some sort of gripe there and they're taking it out publicly. There's a lot here. And so when we talk about the share price, Studio Green says in the chat, China exports for April were 14,174, right? So it's FUD. It's 100% FUD. And so are they a short seller? I don't know. It's tough, but check this out. Check this out as well. You guys probably have heard of Zero Hedge and, you know, them posting lots of FUD articles. Within a minute of the stock price moving, this article was already out right here. This article was out 10:54 a.m. We know the stock price fell at 10:45, right? So within 10 minutes, this was already out. Tesla shares tumble below 600 after reports of collapse of China orders. I can't believe I'm going to click on it. I have ad blocker on, I'm pretty sure. But regardless, everyone is just citing that one unverified source. Again, going back, this is unverified. And shout out to Gary Black, best friend of this channel. At least at least it's a one-way relationship. You know, he's my best friend. He probably doesn't mean who I am. Okay, so check this out. He says, Gary Black says, Tesla made in China numbers. Something sounds odd. April sales were 14.2 thousand, not 18,000. Again, he's going back to, I would say these are net orders. Have to add exports to get accurate picture of supply and demand. Trying to find someone at Tesla to confirm and deny. So check this out. So he goes out, he reaches out to allegedly Martin at Tesla. So check this out. He replies and says, Tesla's response, we never comment on rumors. Guess we have to wait until Made in China sales number comes out next week. The information piece sounds like something written by a short. Also, orders and deliveries can be way different. Absolutely. Did he delete that other tweet? So obviously someone said, is this a response from Martin, who's the head of IR at Tesla? He says no comment. That's all he has to say for me to know it's coming from Martin. But inconsistent with other data points, Model Y production second shift, I would wait until next week's Made in China May data actually comes out, which is coming out in 5 or 6 days, to draw any conclusions. Orders and sales are not the same. So a lot of FUD here, right? A lot of FUD here going on. Gary Black is great. Tesla PR team. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, anyone with an unverified source can post this kind of stuff, obviously. And anyone can piggyback and start piling on this sort of stuff. For a second, I did think this was not a coordinated attack and this was macro, because if you look at the Qs right around 1045, if you pull up Nasdaq's, let me pull up 1045. Right around 1045, you know, we did see a little bit of a dip, and we pull up SPX. It wasn't massive, but hold on, let me see. Macro was down for a little bit, and Emmanuel, if you're listening, Emmanuel also pointed out to us in our Discord room that Bitcoin also was going down at the same time. You just put an SPY data. So around 1045, there was, I mean, 10 minutes later there was a massive rally. So for a second I thought there was some sort of macro here. It looks like their data showing that's less accurate. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the Eastern time. Hold on one sec. Let's pull up SPX again. 145. Up. I'm used to putting SPX everywhere I go. Okay, 145, right around here. Yes, I mean, there's been a sell-off. It's not been as dramatic as obviously Tesla has been. But this seems like it's a coordinated attack against Tesla mostly. We're sitting at 587, 578. What am I saying? I'm losing it. 578 at the moment, Tesla. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Now, be careful as well. This is one thing I want to highlight. If you're listening right now, I'm on the 5-minute. Manuel's on the chat. You're on the 5-minute chart. Look at the 1 minute. Okay, let me look at the one. So let's pull up Qs, and let's pull up the 1 minute chart. Around 145. Yeah, right around here. Okay, I see it. So it's a little bit more dramatic on the 1 minute. Yeah, you got it. So on the 1 minute chart, there was a macro sell-off based on that as well. And this is what I was thinking when that was happening, when we were talking about macro also being weak, was this. So check this out. Be careful, okay? Because tomorrow, if you're listening to this stream and you're going to take away anything from this, be careful for tomorrow for a hot second. This is the Federal Reserve site. Tomorrow on the calendar is at what is this? Hold on one second. Tomorrow is, so Powell is speaking tomorrow at 7 a.m. So let's be careful with that. There also is selected interest rates talk continuing. This could potentially spook the market tomorrow. I thought for a second when macro started taking a nosedive that there was potentially something there. Thanks for the follow, Greg. There's potentially something there with macro, but be careful for tomorrow. End of week, option expiration tomorrow, first week in June. There could be some shenanigans with headlines coming in tomorrow morning about interest or inflations and potential interest rate hike scares and all that sort of stuff. So be careful with that. If you are swing trading, potentially you can buy the dip again tomorrow on that sort of news. So we'll see. But yeah, the Model S delivery event is still happening. As far as I know, is still happening. Let me check Elon's Twitter. Still happening on the 10th here. Anything new? Nothing new here. No, nothing new here. So it looks like it's still delayed, obviously, but it's going to be continuing on, as far as I'm concerned right now, to June the 10th. Needs one more week. Car feels like a spaceship. Words cannot describe the limbic resonance. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is FUD. And if you go back to the price action, right? Because at the end of the day, price action is what dictates everything. If we go back to the volume, these are the Qs. Let's pull up Tesla. The volume for today is sitting at 25 million. Now this morning at around 10, I think it was already at 14. So we've only had 10 million shares traded in the last couple hours. When this nosedive was happening, because okay, let's go back into the mechanisms of FUD first, right? If you don't know, I'll try my best to kind of explain some of the mechanisms on how FUD can work at times. So sometimes you will see coordinated attacks by short sellers. I don't think this is, maybe this is it, but I don't think this is a short seller. I think this is a hit piece, and I'll talk about second reason that you hear FUD. Sometimes you have big shareholders or big holders of a company that want to liquidate their shares, but they're scared to liquidate on the open market, especially when volume is so low, because obviously if they start, I'm gonna start peeling my juju. Get your juju ready. So if I'm XYZ corporation or XYZ fund or money manager, thanks for subscribing. What can happen is sometimes I'm holding an over leveraged amount of shares on a company like Tesla, let's say, and I'm scared to start dumping these shares in the open market, but I need to, right? Maybe there's a Fed meeting tomorrow. Maybe I'm already over leveraged on this. Maybe AMC is skyrocketing and I'm short AMC, right? As a fund manager, I need to start liquidating. What can happen sometimes is you can go out and pay for media exposure and FUD from unnamed sources or unverified sources to put out these kind of articles at the time when you are wanting to sell your shares. Because what happens is the minute that FUD comes out, there's algos trained to sell the news on those particular FUD, on this particular FUD pieces, right? So what you're essentially doing, if you're that big money manager, is you're paying for liquidity. Because if I dumped the same amount of shares right there, and I dumped it on no volume in the middle of the day in June with nothing happening, I would probably the stock price would probably be at 560 at the moment, right? But since I am coordinating something, maybe allegedly, again, all this is allegedly, sometimes what can happen is you can at least hold up the share price to a decent level where you can liquidate all of your shares and get volume. Because the number one problem in the summer trading months is volume. There's no liquidity. People are out on their yachts in the Hamptons. I don't know, right? So liquidity is a problem. So if you're left holding the bag, if you look at AMC is at 54 bucks. It went up all the way up to 70 today. I sold at 68 or something. Sometimes you just over leverage on other stuff. And with this meme stock debacle, and I had a video out on it yesterday, with all this meme stock debacle happening, sometimes you can get caught with your pants down if you're a money manager. So there's a lot of funny stuff happening. Exactly. So Jerry says jobs data tomorrow could swing markets bigly. We want bad data to ease inflation first. Yeah, so that's another thing, right? Is bad news is actually good news a little bit, right? Because bad news indicates that the Fed, the government, will have to keep printing money and will have to keep buying assets and keep increasing their balance sheet. Good news means, okay, well, maybe the training wheels can come off this economy for a little, right? So it's a very interesting market that we're in, to be honest, at the moment. Very interesting. Tesla needs a PR team to combat the fake news. That's Peter. You guys know what team I'm on. I'm on team Tesla. Use some of your money for a PR team just so we can have an official stance on stuff. But to be honest, I mean, there's not like I don't want the PR team to be looking around for random tweets and like no-name articles coming out, posting stuff like this and just replying to it. Although it'd be good for as shareholders. I mean, the bigger thing is like accidents on, especially when FSD comes out. Did I ever see the coked up Jim Cramer video? Yes, I have. Digital Food says buying the 2023 June options leaps right now. They're ridiculously underpriced. If we look at the options market, it's crazy. I mean, how many times can I say, at the end of the day, this is a good buying opportunity? I mean, IV is just not going up. I think IV this morning was at 8 or 9. So there's that. But yeah, I mean, even 1,400 strikes are $5,500 on Tesla for June 2023. Actually, that's pretty decent. I have March 2023 out of the monies, but it looks like buying buying a couple more extra months there might make sense. It might make sense if we look at weekly options, right? And the way to tell if there's a move coming in the market or not is looking at premiums. Look at premiums in the market. So when we talk about premiums for a second on Tesla, we look at premiums here, like you can see the 600 and let's say 620s for next week. Thanks for subscribing, yes. The 620s for next week are $5.10. So at $5.10, the 620s, which are carrying, I don't have delta lit up here, I can put it, but these probably have a delta of, I don't know, not even 20 maybe. I can check it out. But there's a lot, I don't want to that. What am I doing? Let me add in, I have to do this every time. So let me just take out implied volatility, delta. Okay, great. These have a delta of 20. Yeah, 17.8. So premium is thin. Premium is thin. If you go to 17.8 delta on the put side, we check this out. 18 delta is about $6, $5.50 at least, right? Depending on which one you look at. So it's a little bit put bias right now in terms of option premium for stuff expiring tomorrow. So what happens here? I think if we don't hold what is it? Let me pull up the daily or the hourly at least. I think if we don't hold right around here, I think 550s are kind of inevitable in terms, unless volume kicks in, right? But remember, tomorrow's Friday. Fridays are historically weak on Tesla stock. Mondays are historically strong on Tesla stock. It's it's kind of the way it's been going. So keep that in mind. I did buy more Tesla today in terms of equity options. But Tesla is just, the volume is just demonstrably low. But my next calls next week are shot. Damn. Yeah. I mean, unless Elon tweets something around the event or the event itself, right? That's what you're kind of hoping for at this point, is the event. There's some sort of FSD subscription news, or there's something. Here's the thing. Everyone knows Tesla events are buy the rumor, sell the event, right? Sell before the event. Everyone knows if you're trading Tesla, if you're trading Tesla weekly options, you want to sell before the event, because, I mean, name an event that made Tesla pop 10 or 20% post-event, right? Everyone front runs the event. So do we get some front running next week? Very possible that we get some front running next week. We're going to have to weather the storm this week before we get there. But I'm wondering, like, is Tesla trying to combat that, I want to say, is Tesla trying to combat that overall perception that, their events are sell the news and really it's not good for the stock? Is Tesla going to try to combat that at all, and potentially speaking, announce something out of the blue? Like, it's very possible that Tesla goes, screw it, everyone knows our events are sell the news, let's announce something totally unexpected at the moment. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, the biggest, so I talked about this on the video yesterday. It's not looking good on the technical level. We broke for the second time below the 200-day moving average. Okay, first time we did that in a long time was May the 12th. Okay, we broke down below. We obviously, bulls reclaimed it, which looks strong for a while. And from here I was talking, okay, well, if bulls can continue, we can get above this. We're not over, our heads are over water, but we're not totally out of it yet. But the fact that we've sold off again, and yes, it's on FUD, so I'm not sure how much of this is going to be bought up by rational speaking money managers, or rational thinking money managers. But the fact that we've gone below the 600-day, 200-day again, which is right around, I think, 600, 200-day is 603. The fact that that's happening again looks very weak in terms of price action. Yeah, not great technicals at the moment. I said this though in the Discord. A year from today, none of this will matter in terms of this article or this FUD coming out or anything like that. A year from today, this will not matter. FUD is always going to be on blast, right? That's just what FUD does. Now the question is, how do you combat FUD? Do you set up a PR team? I mean, a lot of people think setting up a PR team is not going to do crap, and maybe you're right. But I think having a PR team at the very least is, having a PR team or a substitute of a PR team couldn't hurt, right? It's gonna cost peanuts. It's not gonna be a big deal. Yes, I saw a comment. Rob Maurer is the PR team. Rob needs to. If Rob Maurer can join Tesla as the PR department, as the one and only person on the PR department, he's a perfect fit on the job. He's cool, calm, collected, rational, clear thinking. I think he's a great fit for the job. Rob needs to join 100%. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm for that. If there's like a not a GoFundMe, what, like where you vote for a change or something, like a site, not where you donate, but I'd sign that right away. A petition. Alex, thank you. You're on the ball. There's a petition to sign. I'll be one of the first people to sign that. Harry says still low volume suggests institutions are not involved in the selling. Yes, volume is still low. How much of that is people waiting for tomorrow with the Fed, job numbers, all that sort of stuff? We'll see. Where is it? Says Raptor. Someone should create it. Yeah, I mean, someone should create it. Yeah, Rob makes too much money from YouTube to switch over. I mean, who says they have to be mutually exclusive, right? They don't have to be mutually exclusive at all. So it's 576 on Tesla at the moment. Dogecoin is sitting at 39 cents. I just thought I'd throw that out there because I am long Doge at the moment. Guys, I turned and I had to go long Doge a little bit. And do I regret going long Doge? Yeah, I mean I do, because I just feel kind of dumb. But I went long Doge. Screw it. It went on Coinbase today. I didn't go long on Coinbase. I went long on Binance, front running this Coinbase. So far we have yet to see a pump. Ethereum sitting at 2,800. Bitcoin sitting at 38,500. Was as high as 39,000, or 39,000 a couple hours ago. So maybe there's some room to run there. Square is down 3.5%. Shopify down 2%. Spiders are down 26 basis points. Everything's pretty much flat or down, other than crypto, I guess you could say. Apple's down 1%. So the market is really not going to climb up until names like Apple start rallying. Google, these guys start going green. Again, I've said it, until the AMC stuff is over with, and I'm not sure if it's over with. Until the AMC stuff is over with, and this is the 1 hour graph on AMC. Just what a beautiful graph for making money, huh? But until this stuff is over with, we are gonna see weakness in the market. It's just gonna be true. We're gonna see weakness in the market. If you pull up PLTR, let me pull up. I thought I had PLTR in here. Let me add it in. Okay, PLTR is down 3% today. Yesterday, I think it was up 5 or 6%. So, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Steve, Juju Master, what happened to the stock? I tuned in. Reverse to the beginning of this video. I go right into all of the FUD and what's happening. Guys, I don't have the dark pool and the and the options print. I switched over to Cheddar Flow for a trial. My trial's over, but I will say I might have some news coming up. Thanks for subscribing. Not financial advice. Subscribing on Patreon. Got the Elon dance going here. Yeah, I think we have a couple more Patreon slots open if you want to check it out. Join us on Discord. But I might have an announcement, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, coming up with a partnership for a flow system and this channel. We'll see. Keep your keep your ears peeled for that. Whatever, you know what I mean. Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled for that, and we'll see. In terms of dark pool and options order flow, I will look on Twitter to see if I have anything. If someone has it, let me know. But what I've been noticing in the last week is how terribly low options order flow has been. It's just been horrendously bad. 590 would be a miracle. I mean, at this point, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Not going to lie. We're sitting at 573 at the moment. Like I said, buyers need to step up. This is kind of the level. This 570 level is, you know, there is a gap to fill. If you want to talk about gap filling for a second here, right around May 19th, there was a drop from, what is it, 583 all the way down to 546. We gapped down on market open there. So potentially there's a gap fill there. Keep your oranges peeled. Yes. There we go. That's a better way to say it. Thank you, John. Sanji says, join the Discord, people. Great exchange of information on there. Appreciate that, Sanji. You're one of the VIPs on that. Let's see here. Anything new? Volume is still low. Like, okay, hypothetically, this is a hypothetical scenario we're going to go through. If volume for the day was 10 shares, right? 10 shares. That's it. You bet your bottom dollar you could control that share price pretty easily, right? You would just sell at the bid. You would hit that bid, continue to hit the bid for all of your shares if you wanted to dump the stock price, right? If the volume was 10. Today we're sitting at, you know, obviously 10 is a huge exaggeration of what I'm trying to say, but volume for the day is 26.37 million at the moment. We're about to come to close in half an hour here, 25 minutes. But we're still sitting circa 10 million shares short of average volume. This morning, in the first 3.5 hours of trading, we were already at 13 million shares traded, I believe. So for us to have only traded 10 million shares in the last 2.5 hours, very quiet, very quiet. So where's Kathy? I don't know. I have my I've got my CMBS pulled up here in case something comes up. I've got it pulled up so we can go straight to it if we need to. Check it out. We got it on deck if we need it. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, by the way, hit the subscribe, join the family, hit the like as well, helps support the channel if you're enjoying the content. Appreciate that, Chris. Where do I see support? I mean, to be honest, I see, like, if we're going to see support, it's probably going to be in around that 575 area. If 575 should hold today, it's not looking amazing for tomorrow, obviously being a Friday as well, but 575 is kind of the support area before we gap down lower to the lows again. So keep that on watch. Do we see potential support here at 575? I'd probably hazard a guess and say it's 60-40. I would say the way price action is coming in at the moment, at least on my time in sales, and my Webull is a little bit, I think, delayed on this as well. It looks like there is some buying coming in here. Here. We need Kathy to step it up, says Harry. Here's the thing, right? Kathy is an investor that puts her money where her mouth is. She's outspoken enough. It's almost like it's not up to her, is what I'm trying to say, right? Although we love when she comes on and what she has to say, it's Tesla needs a PR team. I don't know. That's just, I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah, she definitely Tesla at these levels drained mental capital. Yes, Martin, I feel ya. But here's one thing that helped my mental capital, right? Buying leaps for 2023 in March. Thanks for the subscriptions, everyone. Buying leaps out 2 years. I've never been so calm trading options before. Okay, and I wouldn't even say it's trading, but buying myself 2 years at these IV levels has given me this sense of, okay, no big deal. And yes, I'm bag holding that, or I sold that bag held option or run up to the event. I might buy back in if I see strength here on the bottom, but it's going to be tough. John says, if you're going to do a lot of, would you go out 2 to 3 weeks? Yes, I know, not financial advice. Yeah, none of this is financial advice. Again, I would buy, if I'm able to, I would buy as much time as I possibly can. Here's the thing. If looking at the options chain, next week, This obviously expires on the Friday. The Thursday is Model S deliveries. You have 1 day post Model S delivery baked in. If you buy the monthly expiration 18th, let's do a quick. This is how I analyze what to buy. Okay, depends, and let me know what are you looking to spend in terms of your lotto, right? Because it'll depend. Some people have a lotto. When they want to spend on a lotto, they only want to spend a couple $100. Some people have more. Some people have less. Who knows, right? But here's what I look at, kind of. If I'm looking at a lotto, let's say for a couple $100, right, $200 or $300. I don't know. You can multiply this by however many shares or options you want. But a 670 for the 18th of June is $3, or a 665 is $3. Okay. What can I buy? This is how I analyze. What can I buy for $3 for a week earlier? For $3, I can buy a 635 or a 632.5. So I'm basically buying 30 strikes lower, but in order to I'm for the same price, 665 1 week later, I'm paying the same amount to get a week less, which sucks, but I'm able to get $30 lower in strike. Now, $30 lower in strike means if I look at the delta is 10. If I spend that same $300 over here at 665 for the 11th of June. Oh wait, was I looking at the wrong one? The 18th of June, sorry. 665. Damn it. All right, back. 665. I'm getting 8 deltas. Okay, so does that make sense? So for $3, I can buy a June 18th 665 and buy 8 deltas. Or for $3, I can sacrifice a week less, and I can buy 10 deltas for $3. Now, the question is also theta on this. These are going to decay a lot faster than your 18th of June. So I would say next week's are tough. That's why I didn't buy next week's. When I had my lotto, I didn't buy next week's because the theta decay on next week's, barring a big move on Monday, I'm better off buying that just earlier next week once I have a confirmation of direction on the stock. If I'm going to buy a lotto, probably a couple weeks out. $1,400 is still pretty high, right? Even for 2023. That's depending on FSD. I'm looking at 800 to 1,000 2023 options for new factors and infrastructure bills. What do you think? Says Stephen Miller. Okay. Big misconception, and I'm not saying this is you, Stephen. Big misconception is a lot of people think they have to buy at the strikes that they think the options are going to, or that they think the stock is going to be hitting. I'll tell you right now, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. So when I buy a March 2023, 2 years away, 1,700 strike call, it's not that I think or that I'm rooting on even, well, obviously I am, for Tesla to be at 1,700. Yes, at expiration, your break evens are calculated on that. But what I'm really buying, what you're really buying when you're buying a far out of the money option, is you're buying the deltas. I'm essentially, for $3,000, controlling at the moment 16 shares of Delta, or 16 Delta of Tesla, right? That's in essence what I'm trying to control, right? So when I buy a 1,700 strike call for $3,000, I buy 16 Delta. It's not that I care that Tesla hit 1,700 on March 17th, 2023. It's that should there be a run up in the share price from now until then, let's say from 572, that's where it's Tesla sitting at the moment, to 800 on some FSD news, that not only is that delta gonna make me money, but this delta is actually going to increase exponentially, or maybe it's logarithmically, but either way, it's gonna grow as I own that contract. So what happened on the run up last year, for example, I'll try to highlight this. What happened last year on Tesla's run up, when I was going out and, you know, you're buying 17 delta options for 2 years out, these 17 delta options as Tesla rose became 30 delta options, 40 delta options, 50 delta options. So not only did you own an asset that was appreciating, it was appreciating exponentially, right? Because of the second derivative. And if you don't know what delta is essentially what percentage, or if Tesla goes up by $1, how many cents on that dollar does this option go up? So if Tesla goes up $1, this option goes up 16 cents on that dollar. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So yes, so 572 sitting at the moment on Tesla. Let me just pull up my Twitter. We'll see. I mean, okay, so you're talking about margin, put options and the margin requirement specifically. Yeah, I mean, I don't buy really on margin. I still like to stay away from margin. But if you're talking about call options, I mean, when you're buying options, when you're buying puts, you're buying calls, you don't really need to worry too much about leverage in terms of on the downside, because when you're buying options, buying puts and calls, and definitely do your own research before you start doing random stuff. But the most you can really lose, for the most part, is what you put into that position, that call or option, right? Some weakness here is 571 on Tesla. Not surprising. There's no volume stepping in here in terms of anyone buying this dip. Volume on the day is 27 million, so a couple million extra. We have 15 minutes to close here. We're just slowly bleeding as we continue here. So how is NEO flat? NEO has been strong. There's been some good money coming behind NEO as of late. So I mean, maybe that's, you know, because NEO is going to win. NEO is going to be bullish on China no matter what, right? That's the way to do it. So we are definitely bleeding out. But if we talk, actually, what was on? Let's see what CNBS has to say here. One sec. It's on mute. One sec.
Had their bear market bounce, and now they're backing off again. Yet the overall market, because of the cyclical leadership, manages to hold this level as we go into a jobs day when the market sometimes wants to pull itself kind of into a neutral state.
Are you encouraged, Steph, despite the sort of sluggish action on the major averages, that stocks, for the most part, have managed to hold the highs?
Which stocks?
Yeah, it is encouraging, and you know I'm more value tilted versus growth tilted. We've talked about rotation all year long, and so that seems to be working. Why is it working? Because the economy continues to heal. You know.
Sorry, she lost me when she said she was more value oriented than growth oriented. You lost me there. Okay, so 573 on Tesla. If I have to guess as to a mark, and let me know in the comments what your Ford and GM up 7%. Let me know your guesses for Tesla closing price in 12 minutes. My closing price guess is going to be 575. I think we're going to see a slight spike into close. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. Let me know what your guess is. Sweeney Phils is on board with me. Here's a comment, and I'll read your closing prices here in a second. TC says, Tesla fanboys think all other EVs hitting the market in 2022 isn't going to have an impact on Tesla sales. I'm not sure who you're referring to there. I mean, here's my 2 cents, and I've said this multiple times on this channel. I want to see more EVs come on the market. I'm an EV enthusiast first. I want to see us transition to sustainable technology, energy, right? Now, here's the thing. I'm not sure if you've bought an electric vehicle or if you tried. I've bought in the Leaf. I've test driven almost every electric vehicle I could have possibly had bought in here in Vancouver. I'm not a Tesla fanboy first. I chose Tesla because it was the best option in electric vehicles in the market, bar none, for the price that I could possibly get. So the minute I can get something that's better in terms of specs for the same price, if not lower, let me know. There's nothing on the market that's even close. Now, on top of that, legacy autos don't make electric vehicles at a profit. It's going to be loss leaders. They are chewing into their margin. They're chewing into their they're selling them at a loss, right? And check out Now You Know's channel on YouTube, great channel, and they talk specifically about this problem. You can't scale something that you're not making money on. Further, battery tech wise, trust me, I had a Nissan Leaf. The battery tech was shite, right? You couldn't fast charge really fast. Depletion, ghost energy depletion was huge on that. Nissan is not ready to be scalable. I want more competition in the EV market. I'm not sure why there is this false dichotomy of it. And maybe there are toxic Tesla fans of, people wanting to do that. But, at the end of the day, I want to see more EVs in the market. I'm not sure I'm unique in that view. All right, Paco 575, Kai 580, 577, 569. Nice. Sylvan, welcome. 565. Okay. Below 570, 579, 571, 567. J-Cent says Tesla at 300 soon. Oh, wow. Tomorrow should be a green day. We're trading very low. I hope so, Waka. 580, 560, 570. So the general T-Mex says 575 and a penny. You prices right ruled me out. 569. 568. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see. 561. Wow. 575. Guys, I'm going to stick with my guess that we're... Let's see. Mach-E has sold 8,500 and Model Y has sold 100K. Exactly. 550, 580, 577, 600. Alex, I like it. Bullish. Nick says this price will look like a massive mistake by 2025. It's pumping now. It's pumping. Folks, when we get the juju going on the channel, right? Which, by the way, I check out, if you're on Discord and if you're a channel member on Patreon, appreciate you. Much love. You guys already know. But there is Hit That Bid merch in the description if you want to check it out. It's a hoodie. Obviously, hit that bid on the front. And there's a good juju orange on the back. The good green candles here. Be careful. Be careful buying calls expiring tomorrow. Again, I'm going to say it again if you weren't here for the beginning of the stream. Jeremy Powell, Jay Powell, our Lord and Savior is talking tomorrow morning. There's potentially going to be some FUD around interest rates. Job reports out tomorrow. If jobs are strong, if Jay Powell, it's going to become harder and harder for him to continue to say, we're going to continue to keep rates low, continue to increase the balance sheet, and we're not changing. Especially with reopening happening now, there's potentially going to be a lot of pressure from bears to increase rates. So, Data, dude, this stream helps me freak out less about my huge long. I feel ya. I feel ya. We're here together. Running out of oranges? Anish, can't run out of oranges. We need oranges for a day like today. Kathy will buy on the close. Very likely, yes. Hey, Tyler, how's it going? Tyler's our mod. Hey, peeps, late to the party. All good. You missed the part where we talked about FUD the whole time. So I'm about 50-50 leaps in shares at the moment. Unemployment will be a huge disappointment. Well, the question is, what's a disappointment to the market? Is disappointment to the market that unemployment is very strong? By the way, I studied economics. My major is in economics. I'll tell you right now, these employment numbers, these economic indicators are just BS, right? And the way that they track these numbers, they can inflate, they can deflate. If you're looking for a job long enough, you all of a sudden don't belong into the unemployment number anymore. It's just, all of these numbers are just garbage. We try our best to model, but as someone that has studied economics, I'm telling you, it's just, it's kind of like, it's kind of like your 5-year-old kid trying to model the Mona Lisa painting on their little sketchboard, on their, whatever they have, you make a Mona Lisa on the thing. You try, but is it gonna, I don't know. It's just, it's irrelevant. Emmanuel says, Tyler, you missed the part where Yash said he was long Doge. And I'm gonna hear about that from Tyler. Gordon Johnson will be on CNBC in the morning. Really? Great. Great. TC, yeah, and Tesla made 1.54 billion off EV credits. Look, they made him off ZEV credits, which are zero emission vehicle credits, on the backs of legacy autos that cannot make EVs, right? So it's not Tesla getting money from consumers. It's that these legacy autos are so thick that they can't make their own EVs. So they have to buy these credits off of Tesla. Now, if you're open to it, TC, go to Rob Meyer's channel and check out his video on my Tesla bull case. Again, you have to be open to really learn about this, or to really want to change. Like, I'm open to your opinion. Okay, so check this out.
Tesla sales coming in weaker than expected in China. Again, we have not confirmed this report. Take a look at Tesla versus NIO and XPeng.
They haven't
a couple
confirmed
of Chinese
it. Great.
electric vehicle companies. And keep in mind, this is only this year. If you went back further, obviously Tesla's returns are far greater. But remember, guys, China is 40% of the global EV market. You do not want to have a prolonged stretch of weak sales if, in fact, that's the case for Tesla. Guys, back to you.
Phil LeBeau. Phil, thank you very much. This adds to mounting concerns already around China for Tesla. I remember asking ARC's Kathy Wood, who loves Tesla, about this, and she said ultimately China can be an export manufacturing facility for the rest of the world for Tesla, but clearly it's having an impact.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, Tesla continues to surrender a lot of the premium it built up last year. Keep in mind, it's more than tripled on a one-year basis. Even as badly as the stock has done, down more than $300 since January, it really is paying the price for the overshoot after it was added to the S&P 500. When that announcement happened, it was at $400 a share. So you're still way up over that moment when you just levitated back late last year.
And Ford, though, up 7% today. Steph, on the auto front, are there any names that you'd be attracted to, whether it's to get exposure to the EV theme or more broadly traditional autos?
I have owned Aptiv in the past, and I made 67% on it in a couple of months' time, so I took my profits, but that is certainly one that's very interesting. It's an auto parts company. It's an auto technology company, connectivity and that kind of thing. And it's green. They've got EV exposure. They've got a joint venture. So that's the one, and they're gaining market share, great management team and all that. So that's the one I like. Look, I think Tesla is in a world of hurt because China is 30% of their total revenues. But if you look at some of the net new order trends since March, they've seen massive declines, right? 35,000 net new orders in March, 11,000 in April, and now 9,800 in May. So they're clearly getting the brunt of the confusion from the Chinese customer and the complaints from the Chinese customer, and also safety. So you know what? Look, even though it's down a lot, it still trades at 15 times price to sales. And as Mike mentioned, it's still up 226%. So I like companies that, you know, have a great market share growth. They're number one or number two in their business, and they're profitable. The parts companies, I think, have more ways to win versus just kind of an OE.
We have, just over 2 minutes left of the session. We're down about 1/3% on the S&P, well off the lows, but slipping a bit, Mike, as we do approach the close.
Yeah, just a bit. Certainly above where we were near the open this morning. And internally, it's been a...
All right. I couldn't take it. I'm sorry. That was a prime example of those like little FUD pieces that they'll just throw in for whatever. Okay. Unverified source says Phil something. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. That's mean. Okay, unverified source, yet they're posting it and they're showing it as if it's true. Not knowing the difference between orders and net orders about exports. If you talk about, you know, cherry picking dates, they're cherry picking dates. Not talking about how much massive net orders of volume was in April, right? Because none of that matters. And they're selling literally every car that they make already, right? It's not like there's huge backlogs of, there's market close 5. Who guessed 572.84? Anyone? So just a lot going on here, folks. A lot going on here. Phil Low Blow. Okay, that's a little bit nicer than what I was gonna say. I don't think Phil's a bad guy. He strikes me as someone that is actually more genuine than half of the people, but it just seems like he didn't verify this at all. Wait till quarter two earnings come out, and then let's talk about price to earnings. So, yes, the sun will shine us on us again, says Harry. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. My name is Yashu. Shubham. Okay. It's okay. Okay, here's the thing. You know, I was always taught growing up, if there's nothing you can do to control something, why get upset over it? I can't do anything about the FUD coming out. You can't do anything likely about the FUD coming out. The question is, how do we best position ourselves to benefit from this, right? One way or another. Obviously, you know, long term, I don't think none of this matter. I've said that already. It is what it is. Obviously, none of financial advice. Do your own due diligence. But generally speaking, okay, they knew that FUD today, like we were at an important price range, right? We were flirting right around the 200-day again. Either we're going to reclaim or not. Obviously, the FUD came out and massive algorithms and potentially big money managers wanted to sell off. Great, we sold off. It doesn't seem like too unrealistic for us to see the lows of middle of May, middle of March, beginning of March come back into play potentially. If and unless, now here is the thing that is pushing back on that, if anything, is the Model S delivery event next Thursday. Is that a potential wild card? You could argue no. You could argue it's going to be nothing burger like most Tesla events are to the share price, not to the fundamentals, but to the share price. You could argue it's probably going to be nothing. But if there's a chance, right, with the wild card, or maybe FSD version 9 comes out and it's level 4 autonomy, maybe they present that and no one knew that it was going to happen. There's a lot of things that could potentially happen, right? So yeah, I bought more today. Did you cause it? Can you control it? Can you change it? Exactly. Yeah. Martin says you're informing us, so you do help. Appreciate that, Martin. I think on days like today, it's more important to go live, talk about this as a community, be rational, be open to criticism. I say this so often, but it's okay to be critical of things that you potentially aren't fully aware about. But when stuff is FUD, you just have to call it out as FUD. If there's something there that might potentially change the trajectory, like if there was a rumor that said Elon Musk is thinking about dropping out as CEO and stepping away from Tesla full time, and there was a rumor on that, like, that would be prime for criticism on the share price, right? I wouldn't, if it was verified, of course, but that would be an example of like, okay, well, we got to watch out. This might be something serious. But when you talk about order volume going down, but then in the fine print, you're saying it's actually net orders, and that it just could mean that there's massive amounts of exports coming in. So there's more local demand, and you're just fudging it in a way to make it so it kind of fits your narrative. You got to call that out. So Gary Black pointed out that this FUD storm happened in 2019 before you entered Tesla. I agree with him now. Yeah, 2019, summer of 2019, winter of 2019, then January of 2020 is when it exploded. For the first time, Tesla went up to $1,000, came back down. Then obviously COVID hit. So yeah, a lot going on. Shubham says, love your channel. Yeah, I should keep doing it. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I appreciate all of you guys watching. We're having a great time. Thanks everyone for giving a positive input. Absolutely. Lulu, sorry Lulu, I gotta work on my my mixing of that bell. I'm sorry. Ford and GM are up today. It's just crazy. Ford up 7% today and 40% up this month, says Realm. Yeah, absolutely. It's nuts. Too Many Fellows says, whenever you have doubts, go watch Sandy Monroe's video talking about Tesla. What he doesn't show you about cars, what he doesn't know about cars isn't worth knowing, and he is amazed by Tesla tech. People like Sandy Monroe really instill a lot of confidence in the company. Absolutely. So here, Tesla, if I had to synthesize Tesla's investment thesis for me in a couple of parts, One would be global EV tech, or globalization of EVs is going to happen. That's argument number one. And then argument number two is that Tesla is the clear winner in EV. That's boiling it down. That's often what I say to people that ask me about Tesla. I asked them, are we going to electrify as a global fleet in 10 years? Like where the majority of cars, there's used cars that are going to be around for a while until they die out. The life cycle is longer than, let's say, an iPhone or phones. But are we going to globalify majority of cars to be electric in 10 or 15 years? If the answer to that is yes, then you have to ask yourself, if EVs make such a small portion of cars today, and you are agreeing that they're going to make a large portion of the market in 10 years, let's say, you would have to agree there's a huge opportunity there for you to invest into EVs, into EV companies. Well, the question then is, which EV provider is going to be making the majority of the batteries? Because EVs are all about batteries. Who can make and scale the number one, obviously the best batteries, but the most profitable batteries, right? Because the more profitable they are, the lower the cost can be, the more accessible they can be, right? So the answers to both of that, or both of those are, well, the answer to the first one is yes, right? And you can go to Cathie Wood's Moore's Law about electrification of EVs and the cost of them dropping down below a Toyota Camry. And then the winner is clearly at the moment, Tesla is at least, I would say, 3 to 5 years ahead of any other automaker if they wanted to come up with anything right now. The only way that I think another automaker wins is if they go into a different niche. Like if Lucid starts delivering cars that are like the Rolls Royces of the EV world, okay, well, they have their niche. I think you can niche out, but when you talk about, I think Tesla will be very much like the Toyota or the Honda of the ICE world, right? So, but obviously Honda and Toyota, they have their luxury brands as well, right? Acura, for example. So there's a lot there. Wright's law. Bravo says, Yeshu, do you think Cathie Wood is selling today? Why we saw a drop? No, I think it's mostly big money managers that sold off on the FUD news, algos that sold off on the FUD news, and potentially, you can argue this more than I, potentially more short sellers potentially coming in. What percentage of my portfolio is in Tesla, says Sam Lee? At the moment, and this fluctuates a lot. What percentage? 75, close to that. Yeah. Raven says May sales in China down because 10,000 units exported to Korea to maximize sales. They were offering government rebates. Interesting. I'm not sure where you got that news from, but okay, we'll take that with a grain of salt. Thanks, Harry. Yes, and Michael says, don't underestimate what Tesla castings can do to price and quality. Yes, the single castings are already coming out of Austin. That's huge news. And they're coming to Fremont to use for the Model Y. 4680 battery cells, I say this often, they get me giddy just talking about 40. Because, okay, if the 4680 battery cell can charge from 10 to 80%, I believe, in 15 minutes. 10 to 80% in 15 minutes. Right now, my Model 3 charges from 10 to 80, maybe in 25 plus minutes. No, it doesn't sound like a lot of time, but at the end of the day, that's a big deal. And 4680 battery cells are not only longer in range, you can have more life cycles to them. Hey, Tanya, welcome to Patreon. Be in Discord. Got the Elon dance going for you. But also, they cost less, and they're structurally a part of the skateboard, of the design. They're a structural battery pack, so they lower the weight, and they increase all the physics that I don't even know that I have to double check with Sandy Monroe on. And these cars are already hype, right? So Robotaxi is irrelevant. Cherry on top if it comes to fruition. Fundamentals already warrant 1K plus. Robotaxis are a big part, but I agree that I don't necessarily put them into my DCFs or into my valuation even yet. It can be I think that's when you get to ultra bull territory, right? And Cathie Wood talks about that. Talk about ultra bull territory, robotaxis being a big part of it. So we'll see. Go AMC. What is AMC at? AMC is currently sitting at there it is, $51. It's up a little bit after hours, actually up to 54. I sold out of AMC. I think it probably hangs around this 40-50 level for at least a week, and then it comes back down to reality unless we continue to get a pump. I'm not sure. Yeah. You know what's hilarious? You guys remember that Tesla guy who was like who went famous in San Francisco for like driving in the front seat or putting on autopilot or FSD and then hopping into the back seat, and he got like arrested 4 times. Well, it's so funny. I've been getting tweets, people asking if it's me because his last name is Sharma. It's just it's just coincidence, but it's really like check this out. I got another tweet right now. It's just it's quite hilarious. Isn't this the guy who got caught using the autopilot without using the driver? Well, it's Sharma. It's not me, folks. It's not me. First of all, I don't live in San Fran. Second of all, I don't have FSD. I don't have beta. Would I do it? I don't know. Debatable. Probably not. Don't encourage doing it. But no, it's just yeah. People were sending me that. Yeah, Adil says, yeah, chill with FSD. People were sending me that article like, dude, you're famous. I'm like, oh man. I mean, put my name. Put some respect on the name. PC says the future is solid state. Debatable. I mean, to be honest, I'm gonna. I think Sandy Monroe made a good video about solid state battery tech. But yeah, I mean, if solid state is possible, I mean, QuantumScape says they're about 3 years away. I mean, someone else might know this better. QuantumScape says they're about 3 years away from making their first batch. So yeah, I mean, listen, battery tech needs to evolve, right? The 50 kilowatt battery pack that is in a Tesla Model 3, for example, used to cost like 20,000, 30,000 in a Leaf back in the days, right? Like I'm talking like 2 years ago even. So there's a lot of good here that, you know, if we can expand no matter what way, I think I'm happy with it. What trading app is this? This is Webull. I'm going to post my link here for you. If you don't have a Webull account, check it out. You guys already know the spiel from a million other YouTubers out there. But if you want to support the channel, you don't have Webull already, consider getting it. I'll post it right here. Both of those links. There you go. Get up to, I think you get 1 free stock for just signing up, and then another free if you deposit $100. Might as well deposit $100 and use it for some little trades or something like that. But that's what I'm using right now. Not available in Canada though. Keep that in mind. And BlockFi, of course. Yes, BlockFi is with that too. You get $250 worth of crypto on BlockFi. TC, you talk all about FSD autonomous taxis. Where are they regulated already? I mean, I don't. If you watch the channel, you know that I talk about FSD and robo taxis as something that I don't think is going to be happening in the immediate future. I think it is government regulation that's going to stop a lot of this stuff in the next little bit. That's why I don't put it into my pricings. Brad, you are saying every Tesla will have a node and the capability to mine Doge when parked. Are you lying? All right, you guys are hilarious. You guys give me the most funniest newses, and I end up saying them out loud, and they have nothing to do with anything. I wonder if you're pulling my leg. Okay, I see this tweet. I copy and pasted your tweet, and it looks like there's just a bunch of people posting this up there. Funny though. Tesla doesn't have a GPU in 3 and Y? I think they do. I think AMD, right? The Y for sure. But especially in the Plaids, I think they're gonna have some killer graphics cards in there. No SNX. So, all right, good times, y'all. Good times. I mean, obviously not good times in terms of the share price, but at the end of the day, I think it's important that we come up and, you know, we at least rationalize stuff together. We can be wrong. We can be right. The point is, we're trying our best to decipher between FUD and fact. Obviously, it seems like a lot of FUD today. I'm going to be curious to see what Rob Maurer has to say tonight in his daily video on everything. Remember, tomorrow, be careful. Tomorrow morning, probably going to see some sort of reports out about inflation scares. Obviously, job numbers are out tomorrow, so maybe potentially tomorrow is a buy the dip opportunity. Again, we'll see. If you're just talking technicals, you know, if bulls are going to come in, again, we're below the 200-day, again, on Tesla. If bulls are going to come in, you would think they want to come in now, tomorrow, or next week, or early next week. If they don't, got to be careful on the downside. I've said that, and I'm being quite realistic about that a lot. So, good night from South Africa. I appreciate that, Paco. Everyone, welcome. If you're new, welcome. Thanks for coming to the live stream. If you're new and you're old, if you're old and you already know who I am, then welcome back. Okay, much love to everyone. I'll catch you guys in the Discord. Again, I'm gonna reply to you, TC. Solid state's awesome. I wish solid power can happen. Again, I'm pro EV. The point here is not to fight any other EV maker. The point is, how do we expand electrification faster? That is the goal out of all of this. Much love to everyone. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I appreciate you coming for the next one. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. Join our Patreon if you want to help support the channel. Again, you get Discord access with that on any level. I have to check to see how many are available. But if you're last plug, if you're watching this and you don't have a Webull or BlockFi account, consider getting one. My links are up there if you scroll up a little. So, love you guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace.